I ended up actually filming our house meeting that we had. Hey guys, my name is Lisa Hoppy, and my husband Peter and I are foster parents and make weekly videos about foster care, so make sure to subscribe if you are not already. In the last week's video, I talked about when we got the three boys who are 10, 11, and 13, and just how busy a first week is as a foster parent. And at the end of that video, I said, let me know if you guys, want to hear about kind of just boundaries and expectations that we set up and kind of a house meeting that we had. And you guys said that you didn't want that. Well, I ended up actually filming our house meeting that we had when we had the three boys and the two 17-year-old girls who were already here. And so I filmed some of that, and so soon I'll be showing you that. You'll just be looking at the ceiling and then see the expectations that we wrote down. But one thing that we always do when we first get a placement is we go over the house rules and just some things we want them to know about the house. Now, the house meeting expectations, this happened for us on day 6. We already kind of started to see the pattern, and it really depends on, obviously, each placement. Like there, might be some kids that they'll automatically already make their bed. So you don't need to be like, oh, we will always make our bed, not trying to have it to be like a military type thing when these kids come in. I mean, can you imagine, just put yourself in their shoes. They're coming to a completely different environment. They don't know you, you don't know them. So the first couple of days I do more so just like to see where the kid is at, and based on age level and everything, like what I'll show you later would be way too many words to use if you have like a 5 and 7-year-old in your care. So it really is going to depend on who you have in your care. With that said, I'll just share with you what we have done and what we have found works for us. But no matter the age of the kids, like if they're 3 and up, we go over our house rules. And that is that we have no hurts, and that includes our words as well as our hands, that we speak with respect and listen the first time. If it's a really young kid, like 2 or 3, you might be like, listen fast, let's clean up our toys. So it really is going to depend on the kid on how you kind of present, these rules as well. But these 3 rules we have found just really encompass a lot. And I made a whole other video about why house rules I think are important, and so you can check that out. In that video, I'd also shared that we share 4 things that in this house, you are safe, you are loved, you are capable, and you are responsible. So, with that, it's like, if for responsibility, if you make a mess, please clean it up. And, you can kind of go into more detail with these, but that very first one, you are safe, that is something that we want to just let them know straight off the bat. You're safe in this home. Because again, coming into a new home, they don't know you, and sleeping in a new place for the first time, I mean, you hear every creak and everything when you're not used to a place. And so it's been fun in a way, in having different placements that have been here for a little bit, and then when a new one comes in, because I will say that people who have stayed with us, already, they will let the kids know, yeah, you're safe in this house. And I think that definitely gives reassurance for the new kids coming in. So when the 3 boys arrived and we already had the 2 17-year-old girls, there was 5 kiddos in the house, and plus me and my husband, and my mom was even visiting for that time. And so it just got to be really messy really fast. And it was like, okay, how do we handle all of this? And so we just laid out some house expectations. So I want to show you that video here. And I kept some of the banter between the kids in there. The teenagers, they actually got along really great with the boys when they were coming in. I definitely was, concerned with that. And it was just, you'll be able to hear some of the banter. And so that was pretty awesome to be able to, that transition kind of went kind of smooth. I'll talk later about some other issues we ran into in a different video. And at the end of the video, you'll hear one of the kids ask about consequences. So I'll kind of chime in at the end and let you know some more about that.
I just knew that.
Moving on.
I just knew that.
Speaking of taking care of furniture, so whenever we tip the chair back like this, what that does is it kind of loosens the connections in between the
What
legs.
about you tip it forward?
Anytime you get off of all four legs, it can loosen the chair, and eventually it'll fall apart. So I know it feels really fun to do that sometimes, but if we can keep all four legs on the floor, that'll help these chairs last longer. Cool?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Cool.
thanks. Trying to take care of
I
stuff.
thought only you couldn't tip the chair back because you were gonna bust your head open.
That is another reason. So that's one of taking care of yourself, but also taking care of the furniture is helping it not loosen up. So that's that. Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Let's go to, I guess, speaking of taking care of conserving resources, lights. Whenever you leave a room, bedroom, bathroom, that kind of thing, just make sure to flip that light switch on your way out to turn it off. If you leave the light and the fan on in the room all day, obviously that's burning more electricity. So work with us. If it's hot, let us know, and we'll work with like the vents and stuff to help make it the right temperature in there.
And the fan's
The
on
fan just
during the day.
It
Doesn't
actually
help make
make
it
cool.
any cooler in there. It doesn't. It makes it feel cool when you go in, but it would have felt the same coolness if you had it off all day and then turned it on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because all a fan does is it just circulates the air in there. No problem. All right, and then along with taking care of things, like we're talking about taking care of the table and the chairs, the carpet. So the reason we ask to keep your shoes off the carpet is whenever you come walk through the house, and especially the carpet with shoes, if your shoes have been worn outside, then
Grass.
there's potentially poop, grass, other germs, gross stuff that then gets into the carpet. It's a lot easier to clean off the hard surface than is the carpet. Movies. So kind of like we were talking about in the car, too much screen time is not great. Obviously, it's fun to have some. You guys are really good about wanting to play basketball, that kind of thing. That's great. So weekdays, obviously, there's not a whole lot of time after school. But there might be sometimes, some weekdays to watch part of a movie. Probably won't be too often you'll get to watch like a full movie. And obviously you want to be outside too, like, which you guys love, so that's great. On weekends, there might be time for like one movie, like a full movie on Saturday. Maybe a movie on Sunday. Most of the times not. There's usually a lot going on Sundays. But we just don't want to sit necessarily all day in front of the TV and ask, obviously, before turning on a movie. So, because sometimes Lisa has some plans for some things, so it's good to know what plans are. And again, just nice to ask. So, and that goes into just asking questions. If you want something, kind of like I was saying, she doesn't mind for a lot of her stuff if you use it, but she wants you to ask. So same thing, if you want something, please ask. So instead of saying, I want that or whatever, just ask it as a question. You don't need to ask for everything. There's some things we ask that you ask. So like obviously movies, yes.
When you ask to go in the refrigerator?
Huh?
Haven't seen the refrigerator yet.
Yes, do ask, about grabbing food. Don't just grab it, because sometimes Lisa has a recipe plan. If you go and grab something out of the fridge, then all of a sudden might be missing. What?
Mr. Bombastic. Bombastic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Well, that tastes meatballs.
A lot of candy and stuff, and in a way, it's like you guys have been having sniffles, and a bunch of sugar is going to make you more sick. Did you guys know that?
Mm-hmm.
One time, can I tell a story?
Yeah.
Is everyone okay with like something gross?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so when I was younger, my grandma had this big old bag of Reese's in the garage, and I ate the whole thing and had diarrhea for a week.
Yeah, it's
Too
not
much.
it's
Too
not
much is a
good for
thing.
you.
It's a bad
Yeah.
thing.
So like candy's fine, but I really think it needs to be like limited to 5 pieces at one sitting, maybe twice a day. So
And
like
typically probably cut
Already.
off by what time?
I feel like that's fair.
by 7 o'clock.
Your hand is
I feel like that's fair. My old foster parents, they were like, okay, you get 2 pieces of candy a day. That's it.
Yeah, and normally that's what we do, but I understand that you guys are
This
gonna
is
have a
candy
lot.
time of year,
This is
so this
candy
is
time, so we
different.
understand.
So
Like normally we and we had younger kids, like 4 years old. So like you guys
So
are
I
older.
get having like rules, like no candy, cause this gonna keep them up.
Yeah, so like cut off candy before 7 o'clock, and you can have, up to 10 pieces a day, but no more than 5 in one sitting. Does that sound fair?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool.
So, yeah, I just think that it's not because we don't want you to have candy. It's because we
we
want
don't
you to
want
stay
you to be
healthy.
sick. Yeah, we want you to be healthy.
And our job is to make sure that you guys are healthy and safe.
Our job to take care of you while you're here.
And these rules kind of help everyone make sure that they
Aren't these
are
rules supposed to be
respected
in the middle?
and feel safe.
If you so finishing up with respect, if you have an issue with somebody, who do you think you should talk to? Should you talk to someone that you don't have an issue with and just kind of talk about it and grumble about it with somebody else, or should you talk to the person you have a problem
I'm gonna be honest, I don't like talking to other people about my problems.
with? Well, if you're frustrated with somebody else in the house,
Really like telling other people.
well, but if something he did frustrated you, then you could talk to him about it and be like, hey, that frustrated me. Can we change this a little bit?
So let me give you an example. So say you're frustrated with me about something, and say you were upset that I didn't give you,
25 pieces of candy.
yeah, you're really upset about that rule. And instead of talking to me about it, you go and you say, oh my goodness, Lisa's so mean. How dare she not let us have any candy? What you should do is be like, I can't fix that problem. Go talk to Lisa.
Yeah.
So if someone comes to you complaining about someone else, just say, hey, so you can go to me and you be like, hey Lisa, I really think it's silly that I can't have 20 pieces of candy a day. And then we'll talk through it, and I'll just go over the things we already went through. I want to keep you healthy and all those things.
Along with that, we're okay sometimes if you ask for a compromise. Like if we introduce something, you can say, could we do this instead?
Like, we have a compromise?
Could we have a compromise? Like you
And
can
ask with
request that.
respect.
Yeah,
Ask with
yeah,
respect. And it's
yeah.
possible. Sometimes we might come back and say, sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah, what?
We might say no sometimes.
You'd like a compromise?
No.
Oh. Do you guys like it when someone talks about you behind your back?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not
I
cool.
don't really care.
Well,
That's what you say.
When you get older, you'll
You
care.
will. You will.
so again, if you have an issue with anyone in the house, go to that person and talk. And if you go to that person and talk, and they're still not heeding, who do you think you should come to? If
Normally,
you
at that
went-
time,
if
it
you
would be
went-
time to throw
if
hands.
you went to
No, it's not time to throw hands. So if the person you're talking to doesn't,
that
if it's not resolved with the person you're talking to, who do you go to next?
you're talking to one of the other kids, like, hey, I didn't like this. Yeah.
Right. Right.
So come to Peter and me and be like, hey, this happened. This is how I handled it. Can we talk about it? Then we'll come in and talk with the two people that are having an issue. Make sense?
Go.
And hands, no.
Never,
Remember, no hurts
never,
in the
never.
house. The first rule is no hurts, not including our hands. So, and our words. We want to be respectful with our words and with our hands.
What about play fighting?
Like I
Hey,
understand, like
you guys want to play fight and spar? That's a guy thing.
Like, I
that's
get
fine.
that,
As long as
like,
nobody gets hurt, but in
don't
the
hurt each
backyard, make sure you're not getting hurt. Like make sure the area's cleared. You're not gonna hit a sharp edge or something. That's all. All right. Last thing is under respect to, out of respect for others, just keeping the place tidy. So keep it tidy is a summary for here. So whenever you finished up in an area, before moving on to the next thing, whatever you're gonna do next, just clean up real quick whatever you were doing. So whether that's makeup or if there was a bunch of candy wrappers on the table, take a second to just throw those in the trash.
Isn't respect the part of asking people?
That's
My back.
respecting, because like we all share the same space, right? So like if we make a big mess, it's not just affecting you, it's affecting the other people in the house, right?
so, especially like keeping it tidy, and you guys are all sharing rooms. So in the bedroom, in the bathroom, the living area. Basically, if you make a mess, clean it up. Fair? Okay.
Makes it easier.
Any questions
Did
on
you know
any of
if
the
a
house?
murderer ever came in the house and you're in the living room, they can't kill you because you're in the living room?
Put up.
So
Let's
crash
quickly
baby.
go over just so
Alright,
clear.
alright,
So,
alright.
can you read
Huh?
the meals section for us?
Meals, wait until, hold up.
Everyone.
Wait until everyone is done. Ask to be excused. Clear place.
Trash you might have, like a banana peel, any utensil, like your
Right,
fork
so
or
like the
spoons.
banana peel
Oh,
is
wow,
a dish.
I created a perfect example.
Can I do the next
You
one?
did. So you got some trash from your wrappers,
And
you
your
got a banana
Band-Aid.
peel, and your Band-Aid,
So that's
and then you've got your
clearing your
dishes.
plate. It's
So
not
you put your
just
dishes
the
in the sink,
dishes.
and then you throw your trash in the trash.
Finish food plus water you take.
Skittles.
Use coasters for drink.
Light fan and leave a room.
When you leave the room, yep.
Shoes off on carpet. Put shoes on rack.
Rack.
Or in closet.
So that's this closet up here. So you-
No, sorry. Put your shoes on the shoe rack out there or,
Or
your
in your
closet
closet
in
up
your
there.
room.
Got it. Okay. Yep. On the little shelf there. Yep. Okay.
All four
Put your
chairs,
shoe-
legs
put
on
shoes on
floor.
rock.
Can you read screen time?
Me?
Yeah.
Weekdays, limited after
Homework.
homework, maybe weekends, please ask before watching TV, 1 to 2 movies on a Saturday.
Respect. Please, thank you. Whatever that thing is called.
Manners.
Manners. If you have an issue to the person, if you have an issue, go to the person you have a problem with. Keep it tidy.
I should have said and talk with respect.
Yeah, with respect. Go.
Keep it tidy. AKA bedroom, AKA bathroom, AKA living room.
Perfect. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Any questions?
No.
This all
Sound-
fair?
What's the
Sound good?
consequence? Is there a
So,
consequence?
Yep. There's always consequences. It's gonna vary based
Are
on.
you gonna whoop us?
No.
Oh
Nope.
no! I'm
No,
sorry.
no.
I should have
No, the consequence is just losing privileges.
losing a privilege.
That's it. Well, it's not. That's not that it. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah. Usually it's losing a privilege. No, or we won't hit you.
No.
Because that would be a.
All right. Cool. Thank you guys for your attention. Appreciate it a little bit, but it
Cool.
was good.
So
Excuse outside.
yes,
Yeah.
head out on side, and yeah, we're
All right, I'll
gonna
do it.
eat
Thank you.
here pretty soon. But you're welcome to
All right,
watch
cool.
TV
I'll
until
show
we
you.
eat. Yep.
We got
Thanks for asking.
I hope that was helpful for you to see just our house meeting that we had and sitting down and kind of laying out the expectations. Now, those were the expectations that we set out because those were the issues that we were seeing with the kids. You may have different ones based on the kids that are in your care and where they're coming from and to help with that transition. Now, I will say as far as like consequences go, a lot of times what we'll start doing is taking away privileges, which I hate doing, but it does help them to learn. Also, TBRI parenting is to be able to connect with that child. And so if the kid is like acting out, like what you want to do is be like, please go to the other room. I need a break. You need a break. You need to calm down. And that is not always helpful with kids from trauma. And so what is better is to have a time invite them into something that you are doing. Hey, can you help me come stir this for dinner? Dinner time is normally when it seems like the kids are going like crazy, probably because they're hungry. Or, it could be, hey, I need to fold these towels. Can you help me fold the towels? So inviting them into what you're doing. Maybe you're, hey, I gotta take the trash out. Can you help me take the trash out? Just something like that, just bringing them into what you are doing. But then for taking away privileges, it really does depend on the child. And you have to figure out what's important to them and what works. It's screen time, or sometimes it is dessert. And so just saying like, hey, when you do that, or if you do that, then your dessert's gonna be taken away. And so like, that's not gonna be for like, tipping the chair over. That is just like a quick like, hey, remember, just a reminder, we keep our legs on the ground. Thank you. Thanks for doing that. Or, if call out what you see that's good. Hey, I noticed that you were doing really great at dinner and keeping all 4 legs on the ground. Thank you for doing that. So like, I'm not gonna take away dessert for that, unless it's something that I've like asked them over and over and over and over again, and they're like doing it like maliciously. The kid. You can figure out kids, I feel like, pretty quickly, and to be able to see, how to reach them. But yeah, if it's something like they decided that they were gonna, turn the screen time on without asking, I might just say, hey, remember we asked And then if it continues to happen, I might just like take the remote and be like, hey, we're gonna turn the TV off for 15 minutes, and then you can try again and ask again for screen time. I don't know. Those are just some of the ideas. Again, it is so hard because like every age of kids is so different, and every kid, it's like you're a detective those first couple of weeks and figuring out what the kids need. But I think it's very important just to lay out, like, these are the expectations of the house, just so that everyone is on the same page, because something might be really important to you, but if you don't communicate that to the kids and then all of a sudden you get really upset when something isn't happening, like, they're going to be like, whoa, where did this come from, right? But if you let them know, hey, I would really like you to take your dish and put it in the dishwasher after dinner, then they know that's an expectation. So, if you just let it go weeks and weeks and weeks and don't say anything, and then you're like, I would really love for you to clean up, and then you like blow your top, like they're not gonna, you're not gonna get it because that wasn't set up as an expectation. So if it's something that's important to you, just make sure that you communicate that from the get-go. And again, like I said, we did this on like day 6. So you are going to be doing a lot of correcting those first couple of weeks, because it's like, oh, actually in this house, I know every house has different rules, but in this house, we do want you to put your clothes that you wore that day and just put it in your laundry basket. Here, this is your laundry basket. Can you, if they're really young, you might be like, oh, can you practice putting it in your basket? Okay, good job. I mean, don't do that to like a 17-year-old. They'll look at you like you're crazy. But like, if it was like they're like 4 years old or something, like, oh, good job, you put it in your basket. Yes. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do again tomorrow. So every kid is different. So I hope that was very helpful. Let me know what other expectations you have in your house, what you have found works really well, and just kind of getting everyone on the same page when they first come into your home. And also just think about it. I mean, they're coming in, you don't know what just happened to them, you don't know their background. These kids are going through trauma. And I think what you might, your tendency to be like, oh, like give them all the sugar, give them all that. But then when you try to pull that back later, it's just not going to be good for you. So definitely showing them nurture. We like to kind of have a special treat that first night of brownies or something like that. But then be like this, and let's let them know, yeah, this is a sometimes treat, or, whatever. I feel like I'm getting very, very long-winded here, but all that to say, I hope that was very helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what other videos you would like to see, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.